Activists are calling for those suffering from mental health problems to speak out and be given assistance. Members of KUMISA, an NPO which supports musicians, have led a march through the Durban CBD today to raise awareness around the issue. Karinda Jagmohan was there for us.
An important march through the city of Durban to highlight issues around mental health care, especially in the public sector, especially with regards to artists as well, because this march was organized by NPO KUMISA. So I'm joined by the Managing Director of KUMISA, Mr. Thando Nyamela. So thank you for speaking to us. Tell us about the stigma around mental health care, especially perhaps in the more public space.
Right. So there's a huge stigma about anything that's unknown, right? So I come from the music industry, and the industry that I work in is premised on copyright. Now, copyright is intellectual property, meaning that it's something you cannot see, it's intangible. Same as mental health, right? Mental health is something that is intangible, you cannot see it. So what you cannot see, sometimes you will end up assuming and making up your mind about it in your own different way. So just like that, there's a stigma attached to mental health, because when people think the word mental health, already I'm mental, I'm schizophrenic, I'm crazy, and people don't want to be associated with those things because they regard them in the negative. Not knowing that mental health situations are happening to everybody. Anyone and everyone that I know, including myself, has in one form or way gone through some form of mental health issue. And in our industry, the creative sector as a whole, there's a whole lot of that, because remember, because we have to do something from copyright and make money out of it in many different ways, many of us are not told how to do that, and that leads to exploitation, and after that exploitation leads to depression, because we've got to fake it till we make it. We've got to stand out there, shoot music videos, look glamorous, meanwhile the reality is actually different in terms of the economic space. You get what I'm saying? It definitely leads to depression. But most of us still don't want to admit that it's depression. Today, I spoke to a lot of artists and I said, look, let's do something. Come guys, let's walk and raise awareness about this. But I realized that some of those that I spoke to, I'm glad some are actually here, but most are not. Their response to me was, are we going to get paid? And I cannot really fault them for that, because they do want to get paid. They're broke, and most times their financial situation actually is the reason to their depression, because one even joked and said, look, I will hit and I'm going to destroy depression if I get paid, because ultimately my brokenness is what's leading me to be actually depressed. Not understanding that actually you need to start talking about it. It's as simple as that. You need to find someone safe, someone you trust that you can speak about, because when you bottle things inside, it actually starts building up things that are unknown again. And those things that are unknown can manifest themselves in many different ways. One is GBV, because I'm a man, I come home, I'm broke, I need to provide for my family, I need to think, how are we going to switch the lights on? I don't speak to my wife, I don't share this with my girlfriend, I don't share this with anybody, I'm just going through it alone. And then one day, I snap, and I black out. And by the time I come to, I realize it's too late, because I've just done something that I would regret, that was not premeditated, but because I've had so much that I've been taking in. So it starts with talking. Release everything. Release that pressure, because the thing about mental illness from where I'm standing is that it also knows how to mutate into different various forms. So you can start with stress that can actually become that anxiety, that depression that can lead to anxiety, that can ultimately lead to a condition that you need to take medication for. So we want to raise the awareness. We want people to know that, look, it's okay to talk about it. Heal yourself. The same way you go to a doctor to actually, when you have flu or something like that, you've got to be able to find someone who's also going to doctor you in your mental space, because how can you create when you don't have capacity?
I think it certainly will. That's such a wonderful idea. So thank you so much for your time, Mr. Thando Nyamela. He is the Managing Director of KUMISA, which organized this march in Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405. I'm Karinda Jagmohan in Durban.